Chinese Minecraft is the most bizarre of all Minecraft versions. Almost impossible to access outside of China, the entire game, its weird mods, monetization, textures, things, and servers are almost entirely undocumented, enshrouding the game in mystery despite its player base of over 600 million people. However, after almost 2 years of trying, I've finally been able to gain access to Minecraft China and give you all an exclusive look at its many weird servers and things you'd never see in any other Minecraft version. From servers with tens of thousands of players online, servers where the entire world is made of emerald blocks, fully fledged MMORPGs with custom abilities, models and bosses, to scuffed Hypixel ripoffs infested with blatant cheaters. Today we take a deep dive into the world of Minecraft China. 2 years ago, I made a video about Minecraft China, but that video left me with more questions than answers as I was unable to get access to the game myself. Minecraft China is notorious for having very tight security and will often IP ban accounts which have odd behavior, meaning even logging in outside of China is risky. But recently, I've been fortunate enough to be given the login details from a Chinese viewer to Minecraft China, and after 4 hours of trial and error with my Discord, and one dodgy and apparently very illegal Chinese VPN later, I was in. This is what Minecraft China looks like. Unlike the Minecraft we know, Minecraft China is like an entire platform. You can think of it more as functioning like Roblox. Let me give you a very quick rundown. This here is the VIP membership section, which gives you seasonal skins and emotes, a bunch of free perks, and I guess more permissions. Here is the friends section. It functions as you'd expect and is actually a big thing we are still missing on Minecraft Java today. This right here is like the home page where you can download and purchase skins, worlds, resource packs, and more. Next we have the component center. This is where you can download or buy skins and cosmetics. Minecraft China has some extremely detailed cosmetics, by the way, as we'll soon see. And it wouldn't be Minecraft China without the mobile game-esque mechanics. There are daily login bonuses and rewards, as well as quests, which allow you to earn Minecraft China's emerald currency. That's right, there are in-game currencies, emeralds being the free one you can earn, and diamonds being the premium one you have to buy with real money, like mine coins. But let's move on to the real interesting stuff now. This is where you go to join servers. Rather than use an IP, the system works like Roblox, where you can see a variety of servers and browse them, as well as check their player counts, favorites, and number of downloads. Downloads? That's right. Since these servers are so custom, you have to actually download a variety of files for them prior to joining, including resource packs, mods, and even entire Minecraft instances. Thanks to the help of my Discord, some players found the Chinese version of Hypixel for me. Now, there actually did exist a proper Chinese Hypixel, but it shut down back in 2020, and this server is sort of like the unofficial ripoff version, I've been told. It had about 2,000 people online, with almost 9 million total having joined over its 7 years of operation. I logged in and walked around. The first things I noticed were obviously all the custom GUI elements on the top of my screen, including an announcement button, a party button, some sort of store or deals, another sort of store or deals, login bonuses, I'm assuming the server's ranks, and some other friends thing. Also inbuilt into the Minecraft client in the top left is a button where you can buy the premium diamond currency. This seemingly cannot be disabled. Another thing which stood out are the insane custom detailed cosmetics that you could obtain. I mean, these are really cool. Check out this NPC's animation here as well. Won't ever see that on Java servers. When I went to play, I got this super cool custom GUI again and decided to hop into a game of Skywars. This guy just kind of died, and then I decided to man up and fight this guy here, and I just got completely one-shot from full HP. Nice. But then whilst spectating, I watched him kill another guy and started to realize something fishy was going on. The dumbass then proceeded to enderpearl to his death, the other guy just walked off his island and fell, and the game ended. Let's give that another try, I thought. This time I even made sure to select a kit, just like Hypixel. I did some looting and then... okay. Third time's the charm, I thought, and this time I'll do Team Skywars. Me and this guy here have got this in the back. So I found out that almost everyone is cheating on this server. My teammate literally looted all of our chests, fully kitted up with the best items, and then threw everything else on the ground before my crappy Chinese VPN could even register what was going on. I walked around trying to find some scraps he may have left me, died because I fell in a hole, and then my teammate god bridged faster than I've ever seen and killed the final guy, winning us the game. Easiest win of my life. Maybe Bed Wars would be better, so I headed into that next. At first, it seemed very similar to Hypixel. I got some basic stuff, I guess sandstone is the end stone here, then went to fight this guy who seemed to be having some trouble. I killed him a few times, then came back for his bed and finished him off. There's also some cool death animation, by the way. Now, besides iron, gold, and diamonds, there also seemed to be this nether star in-game currency. I couldn't figure out what it did though. I then decided to head to mid, and this guy here in diamond got a bit cocky. I knocked him off into the void, but he threw a clutch ender pearl to get back up, and then I completely decimated him and disgraced his family bloodline despite the health and gear disadvantage. I went back to mid, but this guy clearly wanted revenge, and despite me outplaying him yet again, he somehow two-shot me with a diamond sword, then came to my base to presumably finish me off and win the game. Or so I thought. Strangely, he didn't destroy the bed because guess what? For some reason, there isn't any spawn protection like there is on every other Bed Wars server ever, so he began spawn killing me over and over. After about a minute or two straight of this, I decided to try to run, but he still hunted me down, and because you could also place blocks right in the spawn area, which you also normally shouldn't be able to do, he basically kept me there and killed me over and over. There was no escape. Now, I didn't want to endure 50 damn minutes more of this, so I just left the game. But seriously, is this what happens on the Chinese servers? I kill a guy once and he gets so mad he spends the next 10 minutes spawn killing me over and over, instead of just, you know, ending the game? Anyways, as for the server's other games, well, they seem to have some sort of Mine Z Kit PvP survival hybrid, where you spawn in a small battle arena and have to loot and fight other players, and see how long you can survive. They had the classic Skyblock, some weird mega fast version of Bed Wars with guns or something, I don't know, but it was an interesting server overall. It's a shame it was full of cheaters though. However, Hypixel ripoffs aren't exactly that unique. On this channel we've covered a variety of Russian versions, cracked versions, Brazilian versions, and even browser Minecraft ripoff versions. What I'm about to show you is something that only Minecraft China has. This server here that I came across caught my attention for various reasons and seemed to be some sort of RPG server with around 3,000 people online. I logged on and immediately noticed something was different. Look at my POV and look how I move, it's modified. And that's one other notable thing about Minecraft China. Because the way to join servers requires you to download their various server files, it means that modded servers are everywhere. So this was crazy. I went to get started, and upon walking up into this portal, about 80 different servers popped up, all with 40 to 50 people online, like a huge instanced MMORPG. Upon first glance, this already seemed very cool. It looked very detailed with a lot of MMO-like mechanics, and then this happened. A fully fledged, seamless transition cutscene of what looked like the game's bosses and enemies. It was like an intro tutorial combined with the beginning of a fantasy game. You could roll, the attacks function similar to games like Dark Souls, as did this first boss, which completely destroyed me. But as it turns out, you are meant to be beaten by this boss, and after he minces you up, another cutscene plays, leading you to the true beginning of the game. Now, it's going to be pretty hard for me to showcase this properly to you all. I was rather overwhelmed by everything happening on the screen and all the dozens of detailed menus, of which I couldn't read a single word of, but clearly this is an open world Minecraft MMORPG where you have abilities, a fully fledged Dark Souls-like combat system, and hundreds of custom items, mobs, bosses, and a huge map. There's a story, a main quest, side quests, and what looks like guild or faction quests, dozens of NPCs to talk to, all with a lot of dialogue that I hammered my mouse to skip, various custom gear crafting, enchanting, and other systems, and the map even displayed level-locked sections that you could visit. It's kind of a shame that I'm unable to properly give you an overview of what the server is like due to the language barrier, as it seems so unique and in-depth. I spent about 3 hours on the server trying to navigate around. I really wanted to try to find one of those bosses we saw in the opening cutscenes to at least see what it would be like in game. And luckily, I eventually figured out that you could access the main questline through this GUI and click this button here to display waypoints, which guide you where to go and give you a rough idea of what to do. I unlocked a few things, started dual-wielding swords in this intimidating looking position, then finally got to face my first boss. And check out this fight. Despite my high ping, it was rather smooth and really cool. The animations were very fluid. I also eventually figured out how to use potions and the quick cast binds. The combat roll also had a stamina bar, which was yet another example of the detail put into this game, game, and you can equip a variety of abilities which do things like this. Oh yeah, might have skimmed over that earlier, but you can in fact choose a class, and each class has a set of unique custom abilities with their own fluid animations. Anyways, I eventually got to a point where I had to upgrade my gear or something in this confusing looking GUI, and because I couldn't figure out how to do it after about 30 minutes of whacking random buttons, I basically couldn't progress any further. Overall though, this server seemed extremely well put together. I even tried to extract the mods from the game's files and see if I could run the game in single player, but I think the main mods are encrypted. A one-of-a-kind experience, that's for sure, and really shows what you can do when you have the ability to use mods rather than just plugins. The next server I found was this one here, which as of the time I logged on had over 13,000 players online, making it one of the biggest Minecraft servers in the world, probably only second to Hypixel in size, and from what I could see, the biggest in China. I had to see what the hype was all about. But first, make sure you subscribe so we can hit 700k subs by the end of the year. This video took dozens of hours and lots of dodgy Chinese programs to make. No pressure. Anyways, unlike the previous two servers, the first thing I noticed was that this wasn't a 1.12.2 server, but a 1.18 one instead. Also, I haven't mentioned this yet, but many of these servers bundle mods like Optifine with them when you download them, but this one seemed to have some Chinese version of Sodium, plus a bunch of other PvP based mods ready to go for you. As it turns out, this is a highly competitive PvP server, with Bed Wars once again being the most popular game mode, with over 6,000 people online it alone, likely more than Hypixel. For some reason, their most popular Bed Wars version is 8v8v8v8, and upon joining it's pretty clear that this is a Hypixel ripoff. I think even the map might be Hypixel's. Except there's one very notable difference. Despite the PvP still being 1.8, this is actually a modern version of Bed Wars. You can use the offhand, there's netherite armor, and a couple of other modern features. As far as I'm aware, there's no real modern Bed Wars server on Java that is even remotely as popular as this. They also have a modern version of Sky Wars, a PvE zombie wave-based survival game mode, a minigame where you are shown a structure and have to rebuild it where the fastest wins, and to my astonishment, proper OG style Minecraft survival games with the proper maps and everything. Survival games is basically dead everywhere on Minecraft Java and has been for years, but on Minecraft China, the games fill up and start super quickly. It's a blast right from the past. Also, when I was digging through these service files it downloaded on my computer, they had a folder called Hypixel, so seems like they are the true Chinese Hypixel ripoff after all. The next server I decided to try just because the preview images look so unique. This server had about 1,800 players online and loaded up a Minecraft Forge instance with 8GB of RAM allocated by default, which means I must be in for something big. And Jesus Christ, upon loading in, I got some serious sensory overload. If you thought that the last RPG server we joined was overwhelming enough as is, then this one was an entire different beast. Now, because of the 3 hours I spent tinkering with the other RPG server, I did manage to get the hang of this one a bit quicker, and eventually figured out where to do the quest so I could just follow the waypoints again. And from what I gathered, this seems more akin to RPGs such as RuneScape or MapleStory. Basically, unlike the last server, this seemed to be more of a grindy login every day and do various tasks to earn money type MMO. I had to do a bunch of tasks including harvesting crops, mushrooms and more. I activated a 2x XP booster, killed some custom snail mobs, and then had to fight some weird custom mini-boss. Once again, everything here is extremely custom. We of course have a custom HP bar, food bar, we are leveling up, there was a mini-map in the top right of my screen, there's custom items and food, quests, NPCs, dialogue. It's another fully fleshed out Minecraft RPG. After about 20 minutes of playing though, I began to get pretty bored. It just seemed like I was doing random quests over and over. Started to remind me of Lost Ark if you've ever played that, and it definitely seemed like things could get really old really fast. I did however encounter some other players, and wow, are these some of the coolest player models, cosmetics and skins I've ever seen. Look at the outstanding detail these models have. There was a huge dragon, a reindeer, some animated emojis, cool particle effects, huge swords and weapons, massive capes and anime-esque clothing, and just overall some of the most unique skins I've seen in all of Minecraft. I ended up spending more time looking at the players' skins than actually playing the RPG. Next up was this random server I chose here that had about 500 players online. Upon joining, there were a variety of game modes to choose from, including once again, multiple RPGs. I don't know what it is about the Chinese, but they love their MMOs. However, I decided to pick something different this time, and upon joining this Emerald Block game mode, landed at potentially the ugliest spawn I've ever seen in Minecraft history. I was already confused, but things would only get stranger as I went to teleport out to the wilderness, or so I thought, as upon teleporting I ended up in a world world which was solely made of emerald ore, and kept playing sound effects from Steins Gate. Utterly confused at what the hell I just entered, I went back to the hub to try to get a translation of the game mode. Supposedly, I had joined the Emerald Continent, a world where everything is emeralds and everything can be exchanged for emeralds. I still have no idea what's fun about this and what you are meant to do, and I couldn't really find anything else about it just by looking around, so I went to join a different game mode instead. But all of them had no players online, besides one. That's right, you guessed it, all the server's players were in yet another Minecraft MMORPG. This server is by far the most scuffed of any of the RPGs we've joined. As soon as I logged in, I noticed the tacky graphics and HP bar, an ender dragon just suffocating in a building at spawn, poorly remodeled chickens that are actually skeletons, and a rather dated spawn build. Check out this low resolution Diablo 2-esque inventory screen straight out of the early 2000s here. I did try to explore a bit more to see what was going on, but got permanently glitched in a fence and decided that it might be best to just move on. I was getting kind of sick of RPGs, but then whilst looking for another server, something caught my eye. What seemed to be a Minecraft version of the anime Sword Art Online, bosses and characters included. Now this is something that hundreds of people have tried for years to make on normal Minecraft Java, but the projects are always abandoned before they get close to completion. So I just had to check this server out, especially because there were 400 people online. Upon logging in, I have to say I was a bit let down. The builds definitely weren't as immersive looking as the actual show, but playing a bit more and some of the mechanics and charm began to show. I got to fight this cool looking boss, a lot of the menus and GUIs were designed specifically to look and sound like Sword Art Online's, and they did try to somewhat recreate the SAO world. But the entire map looked rather dated, it was mostly vanilla terrain, and the combat was pretty boring. That being said, I didn't really get far enough to see the cooler content, as pretty early on, I got stuck on some quest which I couldn't figure out as the translation wasn't clear. Once again, the custom models and skins in the game are all super cool, some are even from other animes, and maybe if I got further, I could have discovered more. So if any of you watching this know more about this server, please leave a comment. So after all the RPGs and Hypixel ripoffs I explored, I decided to try to find a normal survival server or SMP where the entire world is in emeralds, but it seemed that every single damn server was an RPG. Maybe I just didn't join the right servers, but bizarrely, there was not a single SMP in sight. Nobody here was actually playing Minecraft as it was meant to be played. How interesting. That about wraps it up though. Be sure to subscribe so we can reach 700k subs by the end of the year. Thank you all so much for watching.